Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we will be moving into the 8th episode of Stargirl and the Easter eggs in that episode. Now we are past the halfway mark of Stargirl, sort of, as there's 13 episodes, which obviously means there can't be an even number as the halfway mark. So the 8th episode, the 7th episode and below, I did a halfway review of the show, of Stargirl. Basically, all the points I couldn't make in Easter egg videos because they either weren't appropriate towards what I was talking about, or they just haven't had their chance to be talked about. So, if you're interested in watching my halfway review of the show, it'll be in the top right of your screen right now, and it will be in the end card as well if you miss it. So, go and watch that. Make sure you subscribe to my Instagram for a daily fact. Comment on my post or DM me what you want to see, a character you want to see a fact on next, and I will definitely, absolutely get one for you. So make sure you do that. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, this video wasn't as big for Easter eggs as it was for actual massive parts for the show. So there's not going to be like little subtle nods, not as many as there usually is, but there's going to be a lot of important parts to the future of the show, which I would call an Easter egg, sort of. I wouldn't really call it an Easter egg. Maybe like a reference or an important part. It can be included in this video. So anyway, at number 5, we finally get the actual final defined identity for Dragon King. Now, of course, Dragon King is a character, and then there is also Dr. Shiro Ito. And if you read the wiki pages for Stargirl and all that, you'd know that that's his real name. But for those who are just watching the show and purely just the show, Dr. Shiro Ito is Dragon King's real name and the father of Cindy Berman. So Dr. Shiro Ito was basically a really dodgy Japanese World War II scientist, basically, who was just, doing everything wrong, and he was supposedly executed for war crimes, but obviously that couldn't have happened. He was known for experimenting on himself, which is why he's got the green scaly skin, or whatever's under that hood. I would imagine it's that, because I could sort of see it, and his eyes blink the wrong way. So that was a cool little backstory for Dragon King. We see a photo on Cindy's wall, because Cindy's got a really weird house in this episode. Super weird. Like, his dad isn't anywhere, so there's one photo of him, so we can safely say that that is the correct identity of Dragon King. Now, this show has its share of super tense moments. There's been when Our Man died, and all of these different things. And even in this episode, when Beth is roaming around in the ISA's headquarters. But hands down, the episode where a little bit of anime sweat appeared on my forehead was when Stargirl and Cindy were in the same room together, and Sydney, I keep calling her Sydney because I watched a video and someone was calling her Sydney, and Cindy was coming in to make sure she was okay from her car crash, when it was actually, of course, her fight with Shiv in the previous episode. Now, this episode's called Shiv Part 2, so it's basically a build-up from Shiv, basically, because she's the main villain, really. And they're talking, oh, I hope you're feeling okay, Cindy's being really nice, Courtney's absolutely crapping herself. And then Cindy goes to walk out, bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, your staff looks pretty cool, Stargirl. I will play the clip. Oh my god, just that clip, not the whole thing. Go and watch the whole thing yourself, because it goes for too long. It's too tense. There's so much build-up. And I just went, oh my god.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention. I really like your staff, Stargirl. You think after all this time we spent together, I wouldn't recognize you through that stupid mask? Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. I don't want to share it with my dad and get sidelined, so... Better rest up, Stargirl. I'll be back. After I kill your friends.
Oh my god. It was absolutely mad, that moment. Cindy's such a scary, mean, awful, basically all the characteristics you'd want for a villain embodied in one character, and it pretty much just comes down to Meg DeLacy's acting. She does a really good job as Shiv. She makes a really good mean girl character, and that scene was absolutely nerve-wracking. Now, the next episode in this series is called Brainwave. So, it seems we are going to get a full-on Brainwave, either backstory or Henry King Jr. sort of focused episode. We don't know. But this episode, even though it's called Shiv Part 2, delved way deeper into Henry Jr. And so did the Shiv Part 1. And there's a bunch of things that Henry sort of developed. In this episode, Henry's having the same headaches that he's been having all throughout the show as his powers start to develop. And he has this thing of pills. And he lifts one of the pills with his mind. And after that scene, he then finds a key, uses the key to uses his brain to move the key, and finds a secret room with Brainwave's costume, a photo of his mother, a bunch of tapes, and a letter from Dragon King that basically says that Cindy and his relationship is orchestrated. But the thing is, he doesn't get it. He's a Dumbo. He's got no idea what that means. He is blissfully unawares because later, Stargirl basically realizes, because Cindy's like, I'm going to kill your friends. And Stargirl's like, no. So she grabs her staff, even though she's still injured, and goes to fight Shiv. And the fight ends up onto the streets. And Brainwave's there, driving away from the hospital, driving to the hospital or whatever, and sees them fighting. And Brainwave can read their thoughts, as we saw in the last episode. And he protects Cindy, even though Cindy's basically just pretending to be his girlfriend. And it makes so much sense that all this would happen. It makes so much sense because basically Cindy's only purpose at Blue Valley High was to see if Brainwave Jr. had his father's powers, which explains why she ruined Yolanda's life. I think I've covered that before. Anyway, they fight. Brainwave basically, she wants them to stop. So, true to his namesake, gives out a giant brainwave and smashes the two to the end of the street. Brainwave doesn't know what he's doing. He runs off or something like that. Dragon King's warriors just spew out of the sewer and just carry Shiv back into the underground tunnels and never to be seen again for the rest of the episode, I think. Or maybe she is. I don't know. And then Stargirl basically filters off. But Henry basically, this is like the turning point for his character. He knows stuff is going on. He knows what his dad was. And obviously, he's going to start to put 2 and 2 together in the next episode, which is called Brainwave. And I am very excited. Now, like I said before, there's not that many Easter eggs in this episode specifically, because it's more of a plot-based episode. So I thought I'd include this little part, which I thought was really interesting, and that was the character of Bobby Berman. Now, Beth's goggles, see, the thing is with Beth, I don't know what she's going to do. She's got no powers, she's basically no use, she's just useless, except for her awesome goggles, which I wish I had. Basically, the idiots, God, they're so stupid, decide to go looking for clues like the mystery gang in Scooby-Doo, hop into the mystery machine and go and look for clues in Cindy Berman's house, of all places, they run into Bobby Berman, and she puts on her glasses. Pat has to pretend to be her dad and all this crap. And Bobby Berman isn't recognised. She is no human being, which either means her face has changed to look exactly like Cindy's mother, or she is just a clone, or not really a clone, like an engineered, like Cindy herself is. She's an experiment. I thought that was really cool, and she doesn't really know what she's doing. She is scared, absolutely crapless of Dragon King, because Cindy, obviously being the mean girl, is like, I'll tell my dad you're mean to me if you don't let me drink that alcohol. And she's like, no, drink it then, drink it. Anyway, basically taunting Bobby, Cindy is. But Bobby is, I'd like to know a bit more about her, because I don't know whether I'm missing something here. Whether she's a clone of her mother, because she's always going like, you're not my mom, and Dragon King conditions her and all this crap. So I don't know, but I thought it was really interesting, the actual character of Bobby Berman, and I actually hope to see more of her. She's actually really interesting. So I thought that was a rather big part of the episode. And at number 1, I know it's a very anticlimactic video, but there's literally not that much in this episode. The only actual Easter egg in this show, and this episode, sorry. The only actual Easter egg. And that is when Beth is snooping around Cindy's house, which is stupid, it's just dumb. She finds a secret entrance, she finds a keypad on the wall. And of course, as we know, if you've been watching my videos, these keypads never just have an inconspicuous number. It is always linked to something. And finally, I didn't have to do any research on this. I just knew it. I just knew which one it was. The keypad was 1999. And that is, of course, an Easter egg to the year 1999, which was when Stargirl and Stripe debuted. The characters were created on that year. So yes, that is the only Easter egg of this episode, 1999, Stars and Stripes, issue 1, Jeff Johns, I think, and that was their debut. So yes, I'm loving these little Easter eggs, as you know, if you've been watching my videos. I just love keypads. The keypads of this show is biggest Easter egg giver, and the theatres. Thank you for joining me as we explored episode 8 of Stargirl. Shiv Part 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and keep those notifications on so you never miss out on a Stargirl Easter egg video and all my other videos. I've got character origins, Batman movie reviews, and a lot of new stuff coming. Be sure to subscribe to my Instagram, the link will be in the description. Make sure to comment what you want to see me do next, and I shall see you in the next video. Cheers.